Welcome to a new scented video. I know it's been absolutely forever, guys, and I need to apologize for my absence. I've been gone for way too long, but I've been thinking all the time that I need to shoot more fragrance videos for you. And the reason why I've been away is I really had to take a bit of a break because I had so many, and I still do, projects ongoing, and it's been overwhelming, so I really had to put everything on hold and take a moment to breathe, and I think that's important in order to kind of keep going. With that aside, let's jump into today's video and see what are some fragrances that I would repurchase if I'm to run out. Now, currently, I do have something like 83 fragrances in my collection. Side note, we are long overdue with a haul on this channel, so I'm going to show you in some of the next videos what I have purchased during this time. There are some interesting fragrances, and that being said, I am purchasing and looking at new fragrances all the time. However, what are some of the fragrances that I would repurchase if I run out? Let's dive in. I do have 12. They are in no particular order, but I do love them all. They are different. There is quite a bit of variety in here, even though you know I do love me a gourmand fragrance. Let's start with the first one. No surprise to anyone, this is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. And this fragrance is my signature scent. I have repurchased this previously and will continue to do so. This is a gorgeous, very spicy, sweet, really smooth fragrance that I find super alluring and powerful at the same time. This is Tom Ford magic, and I find it crazy that this fragrance, and let's keep it that way, is in his regular line, which makes it more affordable than his the private line, which I do find that this could easily sit there, but let's not give him any ideas. This fragrance is definitely on my repurchase list, so let's move on to the next one. This fragrance I have spoken about on my channel. There is a full review on it, and this is the gorgeous Blondine by Frassai. I have maybe until, yeah, you can see maybe 10-15 ml used out of my 50 ml bottle. This fragrance is absolutely autumn in a bottle. I love this so much. It's the ultimate kind of suede experience. It contains notes of butter, which gives it really this creamy vibes. It's also like a sandalwood fragrance, so it gives you really creamy, still quite sweet experience without being a gourmand. So this fragrance is very complex and really beautiful, and I find that it really blooms when you wear it on the skin and it melts into the skin. So for me, this is like a special fragrance that I would continue to repurchase. This next one is also a very special fragrance to me. I first wanted to buy it for several reasons. None of this had anything to do with the way it smells, because I hadn't smelled it before. First reason, so shallow, but hey, I love the design of the bottle, the whole brand, Atelier. So this one is amazing. I love how they have the little gold speckles that are dispersed in the bottle. You can't see much left here in my bottle because I have used up quite a bit, and I actually did purchase this one secondhand, so I haven't used as much. I bought it half full. And the second reason is because of the name, Lune feline. I am a cat lover, so for me everything that is feline I'm gonna be interested to see. And by the way, I do have this idea that cat themed fragrances, I want to do maybe a video, or if you have any suggestions, if you have tried fragrances that are named after some cats. I recently tried Tiger by Franchesca Bianchi, and spoiler alert, I want to purchase it. I really liked it. And I also want to try Bengal Rouge, but if you happen to know any other fragrances that are cat themed, please write them down in the comments for me to check out, because the cat lady over here. Now back to this fragrance and why I would repurchase it. Now, this decision has everything to do with the way this perfume smells. This is amazing to me. I was a little bit afraid to buy it because I've read that it's quite polarizing. So many people are afraid of the opening. Some say it smells like a burnt rubber or something like really animalic or something just like not good. And on the base there's a nice vanilla. So that's kind of what I had in mind, and I was a little bit cautious. So when I saw it on half price, I had to buy it already used, and I don't regret. I loved it from first sniff, so I didn't have to kind of learn to love it. For me, that was immediate love, and I do see what people mean. But to be fair, for me, this is kind of so sensual and deep and really alluring, kind of magical vanilla to me. This is a very deep fragrance, also quite sweet and vanilla-y. It is super alluring. It does remind me somewhat of Absolute Aphrodisiac by Initio, but I find the Initio one to be watered down and lacks this magic that this one has. This one is superb. It lasts for a very long time, and I find it to be an exceptional fragrance. Another exceptional fragrance that I don't hear people talk about much and a little bit hard to find sometimes online. This is Ambre Eccentrico by Armani Prive. This one, I just love the Armani bottles with the little gemstones. This I tried over a year ago and I immediately liked it, especially maybe the name Eccentrico. I like things that are eccentric and artistic, and this is what this fragrance really is. It is deep, it has a little bit of I don't know, it's not a smoky, it's not the right word, but there is something really mysterious about it. At the same time, it's warm, powdery in a way, like tonka kind of style or like a ambery style, not makeup powder by any means, and it lasts forever. It is so sensual and gorgeous. So for me, Ambre Eccentrico is a standout from the line, and I do find it quite easy to wear actually, and perfect for colder weather. Another Armani Prive, this one is Rouge Malachite, and the bottle again gorgeous. This fragrance is kind of like the counterpart for the summer of Armani Eccentrico. They don't smell anything alike, but they both have this sensual vibe about them. This one is white floral, we have jasmine, tuberose, and something really creamy, something very kind of seductive about it. And I find this the perfect like evening in the summer kind of scent. Really, really sensual and beautiful, sophisticated as well. So this is not like a beachy lotion type of scent. This is like a seductive woman in some sort of exotic climate kind of scent, or a man. You know, fragrances are universal. So for me, if the other one, if the Ambre Eccentrico was the sensual winter fragrance, this is the sensual summer fragrance. Other fragrance I would repurchase if I run out, and you can see that I'm kind of halfway there, trying not to use it at all because I'm very kind of afraid to run out of it. This is my baby Angel's Share by Kilian. I've been talking so much about this fragrance. At this point is irrelevant. Amazing. So wood burning apple kind of pie type of scent, incredibly edible, seductive, warm, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance, boozy as well. This one is perfection. I have tried different fragrances that smell similar to it, but this one has the magic, the it factor that makes it extra scrumptious and delicious. So for me, this one is the best version of all the other ones. I do have a video that compares similar fragrances, not dupes, but similar fragrances. So if you want to check this one out for more suggestions. The next fragrance I have not even introduced yet to this channel. It's one of the recent ones that I bought, and this is Angel's Dust by Franchesca Bianchi. My very first Francesca Bianchi, and I loved it. Shout out to a special lady. She is in a local Facebook group who was kind of wanting to do a swap, and then I ended up contacting her. I didn't have anything of her taste to do the swap, but she did send me a sample of this, and I ended up loving it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I knew I had to pick up my own bottle. And this one is your amazing boudoir lipsticky powder vibes. I never knew I would like this type of scent, but this one has such a timeless kind of, think Cancan type of style, something Moulin Rouge. Also didn't think I would like that, but it does have a vintage vibe plus cosmetic powder plus violety. It's really gorgeous and it just makes you feel like such a diva when you wear it. Absolutely amazing. Performance is outstanding. This is extrait de parfum, so you need like 2 sprays and it's too much. The fragrance has so much depth. I really love this one, and that kind of opened the gateways for more Franchesca Bianchi, and I think Tiger will be the next one. And the last of the more kind of a gourmandy or heavy fragrances, this one is Lira by Zerjoff. I absolutely love this scent and the scent profile. I will not repeat myself what this fragrance reminds me of, but this is the most gorgeous, scrumptious, sweet, kind of like vanilla, cinnamon, and orange. I think it's an orange in here, but so a citrus mixed with cinnamon, so it is a very kind of spicy combination, plus a lot of sweetness and butteriness on the base to kind of keep it very gourmand. I did purchase a fragrance from the perfumer Maurice Roussel, who made the Elle by Little and Pico, which I keep saying that it reminds of this one so much, or rather the other way around, because Lolita came first. So he made a fragrance from for Sylvain Delacour, which was called Valkyrie. I think it was called Valkyrie, and I purchased a... Let me go get it. Alright, we're back. So this is Valkyrie by Sylvain Delacour. This one has the same cinnamony, citrusy top note that you would encounter in Lyra, but what is the difference? And there is quite a bit of a resemblance in this, but this does have like a gourmand base to kind of really meld together, and it's kind of like a custard type of feel. And when this is removed, in this one we don't have this element, so this one becomes, it's much more fresh fragrance. So this is your kind of a Lyra for the summer, if you will. This one, I see that the cinnamon can be a bit overbearing in this one, because there is no this deep base to hold it down and to smooth it out, so you end up having like a really strong cinnamon scent, which can be a little bit scrubby sometimes. But it is a spicy fragrance for the summer, which for me really interesting, so I would definitely recommend you check this out. I don't hear many people talk about it, but it is definitely for, I think if you like this and you're looking for a summer version, this one definitely could be something you want to check out. And now we continue with a couple more fresh fragrances, or more like summery vibe fragrances. Another one from the Xerjoff line. This is Dama Bianca. I do have another Xerjoff that I love. It's Dolce Amalfi, which I would also include in here, but I didn't want to include my whole perfume collection in this video. This one could be your fragrance, like a go-to signature scent if you love very kind of feminine, a little bit airy, but still has a lot of character. It does have a bit of sweetness. It is a gorgeous scent, like it's so alluring. I want to hug someone who wears this. It is so beautiful. It does have some interesting notes. I'm not going to go into them, but the fragrance itself, when you wear it, it does have the sweetness, a little bit of gourmandy type of sweetness, but it comes actually from florals, so it is not like edible stuff. It is so nice and happy. This fragrance, when you spray it, you just feel uplifted. I think it's a super likable fragrance, and I feel very happy when I spray this on. So this one for me is a repurchase and a very successful blind buy. We only have 3 fragrances left, and they're all designers. So my outstanding designer fragrance, if I could have only one designer fragrance, this would be Bottega Veneta, the ADP. This fragrance is the most incredible, very different than anything I have in my collection. I would never think I'm gonna love a fizzy leather, airy type of fragrance that even you could think that it smells a bit like paint. So it does have a very like a suede bag, very light. The fragrance is super airy and fresh, but at the same time it does have the suede, so it gives it a very elevated feel. I do have a full review on this one, but I find that there isn't anything in the designer market that smells like this. One thing that, a fragrance that is quite similar is from the Armani Prive line. It's called Queer Amethyst, but it is much more heavy. I really like it, but it doesn't have the effervescent quality that this one does. I like them both. I kind of want to get the Armani Prive as well. Yeah, this one is very special, and it's your very put together, super expensive type of scent. You smell super up class. If you happen to like it, this one wasn't like a initial love at first sniff for me. I needed to kind of get to know it more, but I couldn't stop smelling my wrist every time I sprayed it in store. At first I really didn't like it, but I kept trying, and now this fragrance is the absolute must-have for my collection. I love this one. And the next one is another one I've mentioned on this channel. This is Gucci Aqua di Fiori Bloom from the Bloom line, and I don't like the initial bloom, so if you don't like the original bloom, please don't tune out. This one is very different. It is kind of like a green white floral. It does have a lot of greenness about it. And the white florals are there to provide this kind of like an elevated, creamier base to the green. So it does have also like a very expensive upscale vibe. And very fresh and clean without being soapy. It doesn't smell at all like a soap. I don't usually like green fragrances, but this is super aromatic, very upscale to my nose. I love wearing it in the summer. It's super refreshing when you spray it on, but you don't feel like you're wearing, you know, citrusy fragrances like a beach. This one is, I have been wearing this to the office, and it's amazing because it's kind of a bit professional, because it has this kind of upscale vibe. It somehow makes me think of a Chanel, even though it doesn't have the Chanel DNA, but it gives me this feeling, you know, like buttoned up kind of feeling. But it's gorgeous, and you know, it also can be dressed up or dressed down. This could be your green kind of relaxed scent as well. I think that this one is a multitasker, and I really like it, and especially since it's a designer fragrance, next time I'm going to get a big bottle. This is a 30 or 50 ml. 50 ml. And the last, and certainly not least, from my favorite house, this is Guerlain, and we have Terracotta, the ultimate summer holiday in a bottle. I have never been to the south of France, but I imagine that everywhere you go, you just smell like this. This is so happy, very sophisticated, though it's a Guerlain after all. So sweet, white floral, a little bit exotic, but still very sophisticated. It doesn't smell like a suntan lotion. Please, if you haven't tried it, go in store, and it's easy to find. It's not in like an obscure niche fragrance. It is gorgeous, it lasts very well. It is a very upscale holiday in a bottle. Definite repurchase. This is a special one for me, and I do love the House of Guerlain, even though I'm not giving them enough love on this channel because I'm all the time trying to find new stuff. But for me, Guerlain are the classic in the genre. They are, when you think of perfume, they are so respected, one of the oldest houses, and I have huge respect for Guerlain as a house. I should own more of their fragrances and should talk more about them. The trouble is that you are all the time being a creator here, wanting to try the new stuff, and this is the kind of the downside, that this kind of stuff get overlooked. So I wanted definitely to include a Guerlain in this one. So yeah, we have Terracotta. This was all from me, all of the fragrances that I kind of went through my cupboard and picked up things that I see myself buying over and over, and some of the things I definitely can't do without. I definitely want to keep them in my collection. Let me know in the comments what are fragrances that you would definitely repurchase if you were to run out. Are they some go-to fragrances for you that you don't want to be without? I'll be so interested to know what these are. And have you tried any of these? What are your thoughts? Share them with me. I have been really bad recently with like replying to comments, so please give me a bit of time. I'll get back to all of you as much as I can, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video, which will be fragrance news. Bye!